Good afternoon. How is everybody? My name is Michaela. I'm just adding a comment on here. Let's see, it's not gonna let me pin it. Okay. Alrighty then. When you come on, say hi. I'm gonna y'all up a little high. I'm gonna be doing the top of this table real quick. I've got a live tonight at 8 o'clock on Dixie Belle's website. So I thought I would pop in here real quick and do the top of this console with you guys. And then if you want to watch me on Dixie Belle's live tonight, I'll be on there at 8 o'clock. And what I'm going to be doing on that page at 8 is I'm going to be taking this glass vase and I'm going to add woodgie bend to the outer rim of it and a medallion to the front of it, and then I'm going to paint it to hopefully make it look more stone-like than glass-like, just to show you the versatility of the products that we carry. And for this one, I know everybody was wanting me to do Colonel Mustard, but I don't have any. I don't have enough. So I'm just going to do the top today real quick before I actually have another meeting, a Zoom meeting with the HOA. I'm on the HOA board. Don't ask me how I got suckered into that. But so we're doing that at 5:30, and then at 8 I'll be on the Dixie Belle Paint Company page. So you'll have to go over there to their page to watch that one. But for the top of this one, I wanted to do like a rich brown and a black two-tone kind of look. But I had to I slick sticked it because I don't ever know what I'm going to do when I start a piece. This piece, if you watched my live the other day, it had to have slick stick. It was not wood. It was a wood composite with like almost like a laminate. Wasn't quite like laminate. Here, I'll show you this one over here. So I'm getting my display ready. We're just going to chat just for a second. I got my coffee and my Darth Vader mug. I needed a little pick-me-up. And it's good. So this is part of the display. Here, let me show you. That's my new paint display over there. I did kudzu. I thought that would show the paint color really well. Now, you guys, when you pop in, say hi, okay? I'm Michaela from Paint Fixation in Middleburg, Florida. I have a booth at Antiques for You on Blanding Boulevard, and I have a new one tomorrow. I'm taking my paint to Junk in the Trunk in Fleming Island. So I'm going to have two locations. The premier location will still be on Blanding Boulevard, and the other location will be in Fleming Island. But this piece was a composite wood with a very slick surface. So we got slick stick, as well as the display cabinet over there. And this is the door from the display cabinet that I'm going to have at the shop so that you can see what you can do with your cabinets and stuff. This is, which one did I paint this with? I can't see over there. This was her. Hang on one second. I don't want to give you the wrong color. This one was driftwood. Okay. So this is driftwood, one of our lighter grays. And I just put a piece of tape on it to show people at the shop, you know, that you can have this very slick surface in your kitchen and you can still paint it. This has only been 2 days and it's not scratching. Okay, if I had just put paint on here without the slick stick, this would have scratched right off. Okay, it's not scratching. You see that? I don't have any top coat on here yet. It's raw paint. And in 21 days, this will be cured and it will be even more durable than it is right now. You'll be able to scrub it. I would not scrub it right now because it's only been 2 days, but in 21 days, that can be scrubbed. Okay, so for the top of this one, I wanted to do like a brown with some black shading on it. And then I think I'm going to keep the bottom neutral. I'm going to be selling this in the shop. I usually don't do neutral, so I thought I would give it a shot and see how it went. You know, oh man, hang on. I didn't turn off my notifications. I am signed in to Dixie Belle, and so I'm getting all their notifications. I hate it, so I'm going to turn them off. So I can't see any of that stuff. Okay. All right, so who's watching? Is anybody today painting? Is anybody wanting to paint with Dixie Belle? If you are, let me know. So I started out, I made a custom color. I started out with the coffee bean. The coffee bean was a little bit too dark. It's almost black. And the chocolate was a little bit too, you know, chocolates, here's the chocolate. This one was a little bit too yellow. Like it's just got a little bit more yellow in it than I wanted. And the coffee bean was too dark. And the pine cone was too green. So I made my own color. I think this one, okay, so if you can see the difference, this is the coffee bean over here in the corner. Do you see the difference in there? There you go. Now it's getting all over it, but the coffee bean is much darker. I could not tell you, okay, so I added coffee bean, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of Colonel Mustard, a little yellow, but a little bit of more coffee bean. Then I added some Barn Red, and the Barn Red did it, okay? So this is the color I want. And I'm going to use black shading on it. So I'm just going to start painting it. And I just wanted to show y'all how versatile the paint is and how you can make your own colors. Can you see? Yeah, y'all can see. So I'm just going to start laying it out. I'm using my Dixie Belle Synthetic Mini Angle. And I need to mist it a little bit. Where's my water? Of course, I left my water in the kitchen. Let me just spray it with my other bottle. I don't like this one as much because it sprays too hard, but I'm going to use it anyway. And get a paper towel. Can you tell that I wasn't as prepared as I should have been? Okay. All right. So I'm just going to lay out this brown that I made. It's not as dark as, I think I'm going to take it all the way down to here. If you have any questions about how I did this piece, please ask. What I did to prep it was I cleaned it really, really well with White Lightning. And then I did a thin coat of Slick Stick and then let that dry for about 3 or 4 hours while I was doing other things. And then came back and put a second coat on. I always sand in between my Slick Stick coats because the Slick Stick is gets a little knobby sometimes in it, so I like to get this off so that when I sand, I don't get the little white specks. But I'm going to be posting a little bit on the bottom there. That's okay because I'm going to be painting and shading that with black. What color do you guys think I should do for the base? I was thinking, you know, I used to use drop cloth all the time and I haven't used it in a while. I was thinking about doing drop cloth with some black shading. And this is going to take 2 coats because of the Slick Stick. Now I could have gone without the Slick Stick and used the gel stain on top of this. But like I said, I don't always plan ahead. And so I didn't plan ahead. Because I was going to do color, but I just didn't have the colors here and my paint didn't come in on time. And the paint I did get today is for my new location, so that was exciting. When you come on, tell me where you're watching from. I think this color is going to be really pretty with black shading. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to use black wax or if I'm going to use caviar. I might use caviar and do like a wash on it. I'm not sure yet. What do y'all think I should do? But I didn't worry about whether or not I mixed up enough paint because I knew I was only doing the top of this, and I'm only going to need 2 coats, and so I'm going to have plenty of paint. And since it's going to be getting a black shading on top, I'm thinking of maybe doing a black wash on it, or maybe do black caviar and do a now I'm just flicking the edges here so that I don't have an edge on here, and I'm just going to smooth it out. I don't have my water bottle in here, so I'm just looking at the notifications that are coming through. So if I had to name, see now to me, this looks more like chocolate. This looks maybe like, maybe dark chocolate. I think the Dixie Belle chocolate looks more like, this is not, this is too, I need to let it. Oh, I do have water in this. I didn't have any water in this one. So I'm going to give this a little mist because my paint's dragging and I don't want my paint to drag. Okay, see how that just automatically starts to, that's much better. I have some hair in there. I'm just looking at it on the angle because if there was a hair that I think it's gone in. And it's not stuck in my throat. Is there anybody watching who has never used Dixie Belle paint and wants to know more about some of the product? I'm going to, for my customers, and for those of you that follow me, I am going to put together a video tutorial. It's going to be like all the steps and how to decide what products to use. I'm going to get behind this. I don't need to look at my tush. It's going to be an easy to follow tutorial. I haven't decided yet if it's just going to be text, like a text tutorial, like if this, then that. Why don't you guys let me know if you're watching now or if you're watching the replay. Let me know, would you prefer a video with text or like a video, pre-recorded video of me explaining the products? I'm thinking it's something that I will be able to refer people to. I can, if you want it, I can send it to you through email. Then you can have it and watch it whenever you have a question. Like, when should I use Boss? When should I use Slick Stick? Why can't I use this on this? Why, this top coat's oil-based, this top coat is water-based. Can I paint over wax? All the more common questions that we hear over and over again. I think it will be a nice reference for people to have. And it's something, and I want to make it short enough that it's an easy file to download, just a video. I'll have it on my website, pin it on my Facebook page. You see how when I add a little bit of misting to this, especially with the slick stick on there, even though I did sand the slick stick with the sanding sponge, and it's very smooth, the paint goes on a lot smoother with a little bit of moisture. Now, also, this color that I mixed up is pretty thick. Not all the colors are as thick. Some of the colors are thinner due to the color pigmentation that they need to use to make each color. So you'll find when you open up a jar that you might have a very thin paint, like cotton is a much thinner paint, than sawmill gravy. Sawmill gravy is very thick. And it has to do with the pigmentation you needed to make the colors the color that they are. Most reds are thinner, and that's why it's sometimes hard to cover. Like if you are going to paint this top in red and you have the slick stick on here, you can either very, very lightly tint your slick stick, but what I would do, my preference, would be to, I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to hit that with one more coat. So I'm liking this, and so I think what I'm going to do is, here, I'm going to show you what it looks like so far. So that's one coat, okay? And I'm pretty sure what I'm going to do is, let me get a lid for this so it doesn't dry out while I talk to y'all while it dries a little bit. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I was talking about if you were going to use red. So if you were going to use a red on the slick stick, what I would do first is to paint it with one of the grays, like a light gray, like driftwood. I mean, you could actually, if you're using a dark red, you could go as hot, you could go as dark as hurricane gray, because grays are it's much easier to cover a gray color with the red than it is the white of the slick stick. Okay, that's why if you go get paint for your walls and you buy, I had painted my dining room this beautiful garnet color years ago, and you know, they're like, well, ma'am, if your walls are white, you might want to get a gray primer first, because you're going to use more paint than you will primer if you have a primer, and the primer's cheaper. So paint a coat of gray, and then you can go back over it with your red, and it will cover much, much, much easier with the red. So anyway, hey Sherry, why am I not seeing my Debbie? Hey Judy, hey, I'm so sorry guys, I did get my hair done. Debbie, I got it. Hey Jackie, Carol, you've never used Dixie Belle. You guys, my comments aren't scrolling. I had no idea. I thought I was talking to myself this whole time. Let me see. I got my hair done this morning. Carol's never used Dixie Belle. Girl, you need to use some Dixie Belle. If you don't have a local retailer, if you go on the Dixie Belle page, you can find your local retailer. If you don't have one, I am happy to be your retailer. I can ship directly to your door. Any products that you want. My website is called paintfixation.com. Hi, Judy Bohatch. I think we got two Judys on here. Debbie and Judy Benkowski from Massachusetts. Now, if you're still on, Judy Benkowski, are you anywhere near Ware, Massachusetts? W-A-R-E. Hi, Sherry Brandt. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just sitting here talking, thinking I'm talking to myself. I had no idea there was actually people on here that talking to me. I'm sorry. For some reason, you know, Facebook is funny. Sometimes it doesn't scroll the comments for whatever reason. I have no. Hi, Tina. Tina, we're just kind of waiting for this color to dry. I'm just sitting here chatting with some of these gals who, some of them have never used Dixie Belle before. Thank you, Judy. I know, my girl opened, I was so blessed because I saw the order that they were going to close, I think, on a Thursday, and I was supposed to come the next week. So I called up my hairdresser. I was like, can you get me in this Friday or Thursday or whatever before you... So I have not missed my hairdresser. So I got my hair done 6 weeks ago, and I got my hair done today. So, Tina, to catch you live. I know, can you believe that? I'm here live, and I'm not even doing anything. I'm just sitting here. I just painted this. I made a custom color with coffee bean, chocolate, barn red, and kernel mustard, because everything was either too dark or light. So I made my own color, and I'm going to be doing a black wash on this tomorrow. It's going to have to dry overnight. I'm going to do a second coat of the brown, let it dry overnight, and do a a wash. And Tina, I'm getting a new booth at Junk in the Trunk. Actually, I already have a booth there, but today I got my paint, so I'm going to have my paint there tomorrow. So I'm excited about that. My premier location is still going to be at Antiques for You, but my new location will be at Floating Island. Sherry, I'm sorry. It's long and unruly. I don't have that problem. I used to, my hair is very thick, and when I wear it, when it's long, it's like out here. I know, Debbie, it was a blessing. Thank you, Tina. We'll see how it works out. It was kind of all, well, my booth is sad. It's not, I was not prepared for it. I thought this girl that was in there was going to take longer to get her stuff out, and then like the next day she was gone, and I just did not have time to put stuff in it. It's a sad little booth, but it's a place to put my paint, and we're hoping to have classes there too, which we are going to have classes. We're just trying to figure out the logistics right now, how we're going to do it, where we're going to do it. But I'll have paint there for classes. Yeah, Sherry, I go back and forth. Every time I grow my hair out, I hate it. And if I get fatter, I like to wear it longer, but then I'm like, you know what? I don't care anymore. My husband loves me no matter what. So I can get my hair, I can fix it in 5 minutes. So it's pretty blonde today because I just got it done. It'll calm down. I'm usually very dark-headed. This hairdresser talked me into going blonde last year, and I'm kind of like it. I'm digging it. Okay, this is not, it's still wet. So I don't know if I'm going to get a second coat on here tonight, guys, with you. I don't want, if I put my paint on here while it's still wet, it's going to pull back. And so that's not good. You don't want that to happen. Let me just check something. Oops. Sorry. Okay, it's 5 o'clock. I'm just checking the time because I have a Zoom meeting at 5:30. Thanks, Sherry. Okay, so I'm actually in the camera here. I'm looking and I can see the white peeking through. I'm thinking I'm gonna put a second coat on here, get this looking pretty solid, and then I might dry brush a lighter color like putty, or probably, this is putty. I rarely use this color. Does anybody else use putty? My display over here, that's going to be my display, Sherry. I painted that in kudzu for my paint, and then I'm going to have this at the shop for sale after I finish it. I'm just doing it neutral. I don't usually do neutral colors, but when you don't do neutral, it takes longer for it to sell. I mean, I sold 2 pieces this weekend, so that was exciting. I was really happy. It was a Mother's Day. I sold my biggest sale so far, so it was a really good Mother's Day present for me. But so this piece will go there. Hopefully this will be, isn't it, Tina? I thought it would make the paint look pretty good, you know, with that color. And I want to get some strip lights and put it around it or something to light, because the area I'm in, even though I'm in the front of the store, it's a little dark. So I'm going to try and do some lighting. And then on the back of it, I'm using it to make the booth. Right now I just have 2 walls, and I'm using it to make a 3rd wall. And the back of it will face inside the booth, and the paint will actually be facing the front door. And I'm going to have, I have pegboard on the back of it, so I can hang my brushes and, you know, signs or whatever I have that can, so it'll be like a 4th wall, a 3rd wall. So Sherry's using putty on a dresser, 2 nightstands with, ooh, steel magnolia mixed with chocolate. Have you mixed it yet? I've got some steel magnolia. For those of you who are just popping in, this is what I'm going to be doing tonight on the Dixie Belle page. I have Dixie Belle live at 8 o'clock, and I'm going to be doing this glass vase with the wood you bend. I've got the, I'm going to do, I just tested it. I've never done wood you bend on glass, but it is stuck on there really well. So I'm going to do a trim around the glass. And I'm going to do the medallion on the front like this. And then I'm going to paint it with, so far, y'all tell me what you think. I'm going to be using Antebellum Blue, Vintage Duck Egg, Pacific Metallic, and Steel Magnolia's Metallic. Sherry, when you put the Steel Magnolias in the chocolate, does it give it a shimmer? Because I know a lot of people say that are you putting less of the metallic into the paint or less of the paint into the metallic? Or is your metallic your main color? Because I was thinking, because actually what I'm also going to do is after I put the medallion on the front, I'm going to do this with the patina paints in the blues. I'm not going to use iron. I'm just going to use the copper and the bronze. And I'm going to do this and this against the, I was actually thinking of doing putty first, a base coat of putty on the vase, and then go over that with the Vintage Duck Egg and the Antebellum Blue. What do y'all think about that? Less paint than metallic. Okay. I might have to try that. You know, what about these two? What if I put a little bit of the putty in the metallic? How would that, will that stick with, because the paint will stick to glass if I do thin coats. I didn't put any slick stick on that because I had a completely different live planned for tonight. But those of you that follow me on a regular know that it doesn't matter what I plan. It doesn't, excuse me, it rarely ends up that way. Thank you, Judy. So I'm thinking, you've got me thinking now, Sherry, I'm thinking I'm going to do metallics. Birchwood for shading. Birchwood. What's birchwood? That's not one of ours. Is that another, do you mean driftwood? Birchwood's not one of our colors. But maybe I'll add a little bit of the putty to this. I don't know. I'll figure it out. It'll be a hot mess. Sometimes when I'm on the Dixie Belle page, I get nervous and who knows who knows what's going to happen. I don't know. But it'll be okay. Let me look at this and see if we can, I think we can get a second coat on here now before we pop off. I'll do a second coat on here while we chat. And then I'll have to go next door. I thought we were going to do a Zoom meeting, but they just texted me. One of the old folks that's on the HOA can't figure out Zoom, so we're going to have to social distance next door. And I'm out of water. Let me see, I'll put this water in here. I have this spray bottle, but I don't use this to spray my paint because it's too strong of a stream. I like to use the other one. So I'm just going to pour it in here. Oh. You're talking about the flea market decor colors. So birchwood is the same as, or very similar to, what color? It was, I want to say, is it similar to Sandbar? I think birchwood was either Sandbar or buttercream, or no. Thank you, Judy. Okay, so now I've got my water in here. Now I can put the second coat on here. I try, Judy. You know, I homeschooled for, this is not working. Everything's going wrong. Is it because I'm live? Yes, it's because I'm live. You know, I've told y'all before, I homeschooled for 20 years, so that kind of makes you a natural teacher. So, Sherry, which one is it similar to? The sandbar? I know it was very, you know, those flea market decors were very similar to our original line. They were just slightly different so they could rebrand them. I don't have that one here. I have the Golden Years one and the one that was similar to Cut City, I think is the other one. The Market Green, I think was the name of it. This is covering pretty good for being over slick stick. I will never be able to recreate this color because I didn't measure. I have a hair right there. I can't get it out. There it goes. Just gonna have to take a third coat right there. A little lighter than sawmill gravy. So I wonder if that's the buttercream. Oh, okay, sandbar. Okay. I know, I thought one of them was buttercream. But maybe it was sandbar. I only bought one of each of those, and they did not do well in my area because they were pricier than the original colors, I think is the reason. But I've used them. I might even use the, oh, this is driving me crazy. I might even use the wood grain tool maybe on this with the black. I like to use it with the Voodoo gel stain, but I'm out of black right now, so it'll have to be with caviar. But if I use it with the paint, I probably will use like a wash. I don't know where these little, you know what? I know what these are. I always clean with White Lightning and a scrubby pad. And this time I bought cheap scrubby pads from the dollar store. Don't do that, because them little suckers leave hairs everywhere, and this room is pretty contained. No one's really allowed in here except for me, and my kids will come in here occasionally to tell me something, but the animals are not allowed in here. But these I'm seeing, and I know that's what it is because they're red. It was a red scrubby, and let me tell you what. It's driving me crazy. There's nothing worse than having to pick stuff out of your paint. Especially when you're the one who put it there. I hate that. So I'm going to try and get that base to work tonight. I have painted a lot of glass. Now, if I'm doing a glass tabletop, I definitely use the slick stick. But when I'm doing glassware for decorations and stuff, I hardly ever use slick stick. And I really have never had a problem with it coming off as long as you use thin coats. So I might try. It's just that the metallics are not chalk, so I'm not sure I can do that, but I'm definitely going to use them on top of the paint. But you've definitely got my wheels spinning to mix up my metallics with my paint. I think that would be really fun. Maybe I'll try it on this piece, on the base. And I have plenty of this paint left over if I have to do some touch-ups. And I probably will because I haven't been really careful. But when this dries, if you're not familiar with chalk paint, or not just chalk paint, but the Dixie Belle chalk mineral paint, because it has some acrylic in it, it allows it to be self-leveling. And so what that means is, so I'm definitely going to have to touch up that little spot that I picked out the hair. That's got to be covered up. And there's a couple of places that can use a third coat. But for the most part, that's pretty, that's my fingerprint right there. But for the most part, that's pretty covered up. And so what I'll do is I will be live tomorrow on my page, here where you are now, on my page. And I'm thinking 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Seems like 6 o'clock on Friday is a pretty good time. And we'll be working on the base, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do on the top too. So we'll probably do a little bit of both. I might paint this base color, do one coat of base color before I go live, so that we can do the fun stuff together. But I'm definitely going to be doing a black wash on this. And I might use the gloss top coat. First I'll put the gator hide on there so it's water repellent. And then on my last coat, I'll put the gloss coat on there. I think that'll be really pretty with these rich colors. And then the bottom will be satin. So it won't be as shiny as the top. But if you are still watching, I made my little sign. I know it's backwards because I'm not on my webcam, but if you haven't done this, please do, because this helps me as a small business owner. This tells Facebook that my videos are worth going out a little bit further, and so locally, more people will see me. And that's what we want. We want local people who need help too. So that's always a good thing to do. And then if you're not already doing this, and I know it's upside down and backwards, but I think everybody can read backwards. If you do this on my page, you hit the notifications and you follow me, then you will get a notification when I go live. Okay? And if you're watching now and watching on the replay, I have a business coach, and we have an app that we're testing it out, where people who sign up with me on the app, I can send you a mass bulletin, like I'm going live today at 5 or whatever. Because for people who are not on their phones, or they don't have their Facebook notifications on, or if you're not following me at the time, you won't get a notification that I'm going live, you know, if you're not on your phone. But if you have your app, what it does is, it just dings and it tells you whatever I put in the notification. It'll say going live in an hour, or going live tonight at 8, or whatever it is. It's just a one-time notification, and you don't have to sign up for it or not. And I'm not doing it yet. We're still testing it in my coaching group. And once we figure out if it's a good thing, then I'm going to put it out there for my followers, so that, because I have a few people who get upset because they don't get notifications when I go live. And that's a Facebook thing. You know, it's like sometimes they'll send everybody a notification, and then sometimes they won't send but half of them a notification. I don't know why they do it that way. But this app is separate from there. So I can send you a notification and tell you I'm going live, and then if you're available to watch, you can watch. But anyway, I got to run. I have a meeting, and I'll be back on here at 8 o'clock tonight on the Dixie Belle Paint Company page, working on the vase. So I'll see you guys then. Take care. Thanks for watching.